What if the story of Jesus you've always known wasn't the whole story? While traditional Christianity paints Jesus as the divine savior, the Gnostic view reveals something radically different. A teacher of hidden knowledge guiding us toward personal spiritual awakening. Could it be that his mission wasn't about establishing a religion, but about empowering individuals to discover their inner truth? Jesus said in the Lost Gospel of Thomas, "I will give you what no eye has seen, and what no ear has heard, and what no hand has touched, and what has not occurred to the human mind." In this video, we'll dive into ancient Gnostic texts, uncovering insights that challenge mainstream interpretations and reveal a side of Jesus' story that's rarely discussed. By the end, you'll see how these teachings could transform the way we think about faith, spirituality, and the search for meaning. Stay with us, because this journey might just change how you see everything. The word Gnostic comes from the Greek word gnosis, which means knowledge, but not just any knowledge. For the Gnostics, this was deep spiritual insight, the kind of understanding that could lead to true liberation. These early Christian groups, emerging in the first few centuries CE, set themselves apart from Orthodox Christianity with a bold and radical belief that salvation wasn't about blind faith or following rules. It was about awakening to a profound truth within yourself. At the heart of their teachings was a striking idea: the material world, the one we live in every day, is a flawed creation. They believed it was crafted by a lesser, misguided deity they called the demiurge, a sort of cosmic architect who traps souls in this imperfect physical realm, keeping us from recognizing our divine origins. To the Gnostics, this world wasn't our true home. They saw it as a prison, full of distractions and illusions designed to keep us from discovering who we really are. But here's where their message becomes powerful. Gnostics believed that within each of us lies a spark of the divine, waiting to be awakened. This awakening, or gnosis, isn't just about learning facts or doctrines. It's an experiential, life-changing realization of your true self and your connection to the divine source. Through this inner knowledge, they taught, we can transcend the limitations of the material world and reconnect with the ultimate truth. This perspective challenges conventional religious narratives in a profound way. Instead of emphasizing rules, rituals, or external authority, the Gnostics prioritized personal experience and enlightenment. It's a unique and empowering approach to spirituality, one that invites us to look inward for the answers we seek. The Gnostic view of Jesus paints him not as a figure of sacrifice, but as a revealer of deep, transformative truths, a stark contrast to the traditional portrayal of Jesus as the sacrificial lamb who redeems humanity through his death. Instead of focusing on atonement, Gnostics saw Jesus as a guide, leading individuals on a journey towards self-realization. If this resonates with you, help us grow and spread this message by liking this episode. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future content. In Gnostic texts, Jesus' teachings are presented as a roadmap to uncover the divine spark within each of us. This perspective shifts the idea of salvation from something granted externally to something realized internally. It's not about rituals or doctrines, it's about awakening to the truth of your own divine nature. For the Gnostics, Jesus' wisdom was meant to empower people to look inward, moving beyond faith in external practices to a deep, personal connection with the divine. Jesus stated in the Gospel of Thomas, "Why do you wash the outside of the cup? Do you not understand that the one who created the inside is also the one who created the outside?" This internalization of Jesus' message is key to spiritual transformation. By fostering a profound awareness of their true nature and purpose, Gnostics believed individuals could transcend the illusions of the material world. Jesus, in this light, becomes a teacher whose message unlocks the spiritual potential hidden within every soul. The Gnostic perspective invites us to embark on a spiritual journey, one where the ultimate goal isn't just faith, but the realization of our divine essence. Gnostic literature often views the miracles of Jesus not as literal events, but as powerful symbols of spiritual enlightenment and the transformative power of inner knowledge. In this interpretation, these miracles act as metaphors, illustrating the awakening of the divine spark within us and the potential to rise above the limitations of the material world. Take, for example, the miracle of turning water into wine. Gnostics saw this not as a simple act of transformation, but as a profound symbol of elevating the mundane into the sacred, an allegory for how inner awakening can lead to a higher state of consciousness. Similarly, the healing of the blind is reimagined as a metaphor for gaining spiritual insight and clarity, representing the journey from ignorance to enlightenment. For the Gnostics, these stories weren't about external displays of power. They were lessons about transcending the illusions of the physical realm. They believed true mastery wasn't found in controlling the material world, but in understanding and embracing one's divine nature. This perspective challenges us to see Jesus' actions as invitations to deeper reflection, urging us to reclaim our connection to the divine by breaking free from the constraints of the demiurge. By interpreting these miracles symbolically, Gnostic writings encourage seekers to look beyond the surface and uncover the deeper truths within. They invite us to embark on a personal journey of spiritual awakening, where self-realization and enlightenment become the ultimate miracles. The Gnostic interpretation of Jesus' prayer in the Garden of Gethsemane reveals profound insights into breaking free from the chains of ignorance. In this view, the cup Jesus prays about represents the burdens and suffering tied to the material world, a flawed creation according to the Gnostics, governed by the demiurge. His plea to be spared from drinking the cup reflects an awareness of the trials that come with living in the physical realm, highlighting the tension between the spiritual and material dimensions of existence. But here's what makes this moment so powerful in Gnostic thought. It's not just about the suffering. It's about Jesus' alignment with the true God, the ultimate source of divine knowledge and enlightenment. By choosing to accept his mission despite the pain ahead, Jesus demonstrates spiritual mastery over the material world. This struggle isn't just his. It's a mirror of the inner conflict we all face as we wrestle with ignorance and the distractions of the physical realm. In this light, Jesus' prayer becomes a symbol of hope and determination, a reminder that awakening isn't easy but is always worth pursuing. It challenges us to transcend our own limitations and uncover a deeper understanding of our true nature. For the Gnostics, this moment in the garden is an invitation, an open door to embark on our own journey of liberation. In the Gnostic narrative, Judas Iscariot's story takes on a completely different meaning. Instead of the ultimate betrayer, he's reimagined as an enlightened figure, someone who plays a crucial role in the unfolding of divine knowledge. The Gnostic Gospel of Judas presents him not as a villain, but as a confidant of Jesus, someone who grasps the deeper spiritual truths that others cannot see. According to this perspective, Judas doesn't betray Jesus for material gain. Instead, he helps Jesus escape the confines of his physical body, allowing him to transcend the material world and fulfill his mission of revealing hidden knowledge. It's a striking reinterpretation, one that positions Judas's actions as part of a divine plan to awaken humanity's connection to the divine spark within. This view stands in stark contrast to the traditional narrative, which paints Judas as the epitome of treachery. Instead, Gnostic texts reclaim his role as essential to the spiritual journey, not just for Jesus, but for his followers as well. By looking at Judas through this lens, we're invited to reconsider what loyalty, sacrifice, and even betrayal really mean in the context of spiritual growth. Ultimately, this reassessment encourages us to dive deeper into themes of sacrifice and enlightenment, challenging us to explore the complexities of our own relationships with the divine. It's a bold perspective, one that invites us to question what we think we know and to look for the hidden truths beneath the surface. The Gnostic interpretation of the Last Supper offers a profound and transformative perspective. For Gnostics, the bread and wine weren't just elements of a ritual. They symbolized spiritual nourishment, the kind of inner wisdom and enlightenment that sustains the soul on its journey toward awakening. While traditional interpretations focus on the Eucharist as a remembrance of Jesus' sacrifice, Gnostics saw something deeper. To them, these symbols represented the awakening to divine knowledge, the key to unlocking our true spiritual potential. The Last Supper, in this light, becomes a pivotal moment where Jesus shares essential teachings about self-discovery and spiritual growth. It's not just about faith or remembrance. It's about empowering his followers to seek the deeper truths that lie beyond the three-dimensional realm. This gathering is viewed as an invitation, a call to transcend the limitations of the material world and connect with the inner wisdom residing within each of us. For Gnostics, the true nourishment Jesus offered wasn't physical, but spiritual, a reminder that enlightenment comes from understanding your divine nature and pursuing gnosis. Through this lens, the Last Supper transforms into a powerful symbol of the journey toward awakening. It's a moment that urges us to recognize our own spiritual potential, embrace the wisdom within, and take the steps toward liberation and true understanding. The Gnostic take on the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus offers a fascinating and radically different perspective. In their view, the crucifixion wasn't just a moment of suffering, it was a clever move against the demiurge, the flawed creator god, who, according to Gnostics, governs the material world. Jesus' death wasn't a defeat, but a demonstration of the limits of the physical realm and the ignorance of the demiurge. It was a way to show that true divinity transcends material existence. The resurrection, too, takes on a completely different meaning. For Gnostics, it wasn't about a physical body rising from the dead. It was a profound spiritual awakening. It symbolized the soul's liberation from the constraints of the body and the illusions of the material world. And here's where it becomes deeply personal. This resurrection isn't something to wait for. It's something you can experience right now. Gnostics believed that through awareness and insight, you could awaken to your true nature and reconnect with the divine source within. This perspective shifts the focus from external events to internal transformation. It's about recognizing the potential for spiritual rebirth in your daily life, transcending illusions, embracing your inherent divinity, and finding liberation. The Gnostic interpretation of the crucifixion and resurrection invites us to look beyond the surface and see these events as powerful metaphors for our own union with the divine. In this video, we've taken a deep dive into the Gnostic interpretation of Jesus, a guide, a teacher, and a revealer of hidden truths. Unlike the traditional view of Jesus as a savior through sacrifice, the Gnostic perspective shows us a path to reconnecting with the long-lost soul. It challenges us to look beyond conventional narratives and explore the deeper meanings behind his life and teachings. This perspective invites each of us on a personal journey, a journey toward enlightenment, where spiritual truth isn't something handed down by others, but something discovered within ourselves. It's a reminder that the answers we seek often lie beyond established doctrines and within the depths of our own being. In the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus says, "Come to know what is in front of you, and that which is hidden from you will become clear to you." As we wrap up, we encourage you to reflect on these ideas. How do they resonate with your own spiritual path? What questions do they spark within you? If you found this exploration thought-provoking, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel, give this video a like, and share it with others who might be searching for their own deeper truths. Your support allows us to continue uncovering these fascinating topics and sharing wisdom that inspires personal transformation. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We can't wait to explore even more paths to spiritual awakening with you in the next video. Be well and soulful, my friends.